When your old career gives you lemons, throw in some ice, mix in some vodka, and call it a podcast. From the Mac of All Trades studio in Fairport, and driven by Victor Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, it's Billified, the Bill Moran Podcast.
Well, hello and welcome. Thanks for getting your pot on. Thank you for telling a friend. That's how we spread the word about the pirate ship. One punch at a one step, one punch, one round. One step, one punch, one round. Today, two-time Golden Glove champion. And can I say Olympic hopeful?
Yes.
An Olympic hopeful, Algeria Johnson, is back in the studio. We talked to her a couple months ago. Before you were heading out to, I believe it was Colorado. You were going out to, I was going to say, Aspen. Was it an Aspen?
It was
Talk right in that.
It was Colorado Springs for the camp for the Olympians.
Yeah.
While they were going to Paris.
So how did that go for you when you went out there?
It was a really good experience. I was able to get experience in sparring with the girl who's number one in my weight class.
Yeah.
That actually fought in the Olympics at 146.
Okay.
So I was able to share the ring with her and also a few other Olympians at different weight classes. And we did training with them. We did a morning training, afternoon training. So we learned like certain things that they're looking for in the Olympics. Like,
what are they looking for? Like, what would be different, or things that you left there going, oh, I need to work on this?
More so of the things of how they score internationally.
Okay.
Like here in the U.S., certain things they look for in the international tournaments, like side steps, and they look for check hooks. They look for a lot of different things that they're not really too
So
big
side
on.
steps meaning like slip, almost.
No, it's like a move, like
to avoid a punch.
Yeah, it's like a move that they look for. Like that's a real big thing.
And they give you points for that.
Yeah, it's like the international scoring. They score different from like fighting at just a USA.
Explain to everybody what at a USA tournament, because I always thought it was just really from head to kind of waist. You touch the body anywhere in there, and that was a point.
Well, the scoring system, they score from your face to your bottom stomach.
Yeah,
that's the scoring system. But
right. So you don't get any points for avoiding a punch.
Yes, they score for defense.
They do.
They look for certain things. Defense, they want to see if you could hit and not get hit. They want to see you throwing a lot of punches, you're real active.
Yeah.
So they look for different things. It's just a different type of scoring. I just know a couple of things they look for internationally. I never fought internationally yet.
Right.
So, but being in camp, they had showed us a few of the moves that they look for in the international tournaments.
Yeah. Harder?
I would say it's
a lot to think
technical.
about in there. Yeah, more technical.
Yeah, a little more technical versus like the pros, like the scoring. Because everything fast and amateur. So I think like everything is more like in the pros, everything slows down a little bit more. So amateur is 3 minutes, 3 rounds. So it's like a fast pace. But they look for certain things.
So are you so it's only 3 rounds, 3 minute, 3 rounds? Is that what you said? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what is your plan then to go moving forward?
Like in the ring?
Yeah.
When I'm in the ring, I just feel my opponent out the first 10 seconds. So I can't, before a fight, I can't like say what I'm gonna do.
Right.
I gotta feel my opponent out.
Sure.
But if I know who I'm fighting or got the experience, then okay, I probably try to break them down the way I know to break them down. But I usually go in the fight and fill them out the first 10 seconds. I don't go in there like thinking, oh, I gotta do this and this and that. I just let it come naturally.
Yeah. But you want to be an Olympic boxer, right? So what is the plan to get back to get to that level?
Well, they have a big tournament in December, which I'm going to fight in. And that basically is the starting for the Olympics for Los Angeles in 2026.
28.
Yeah, 2028.
Yeah.
So that's like how they select this tournament.
Mm-hmm.
So if whoever wins in this tournament, that's like the step for the Olympics in 2028.
Yeah.
So you'll be like the number one, and
You got to be so disciplined yourself right
Mhm.
now, like in what you're eating and when you're going to bed and when you're getting up. And I know you have a full-time job.
yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So how are you balancing all that?
I work in the morning, and then as soon as I leave from work, I go straight to the gym.
Yeah.
So, but closer to camp, um, I'm gonna be like training in another state.
You're going to be training in another state.
Yeah,
Where are you
like
going?
getting work from there in Ohio.
Ohio.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm be going there to get work and stuff. Just to be in another environment where I can, learn more.
Yeah. So when are you going to do that?
I'm leaving 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks. And how long will you be there?
I'm just going for the weekend. I'm
For the
just gonna be
weekend.
going up there a lot to get sparring and stuff.
Sparring and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah. And worst injury that you've had lately? Is there anything?
No injury. I mean, no.
No cracked rib? No. Nothing
Mm-mm.
like that? Nobody's touching you. You're getting in there. Come on. Come on. That's some stuff. Talk to me about the Olympics had some controversy this
Mhm.
year in the women's boxing with somebody from another country, and I think it was Algeria. That's what I thought, which I thought was kind of fun, but I was like,
Yeah.
right, because that's your name,
Yeah.
right? So here comes a boxer who they're saying is not trans, but is born with
the male testosterone.
so it's got like the X chromosome, but even though, and it doesn't present until puberty, more or less, and maybe there's not to be too graphic, but more clinical, no penis, but there's testosterone and that sort of thing. And who knows really where I guess the truth is in that, and there is some privacy. Do you feel like that was how did you feel about that? I'll leave it there.
Honestly, I actually the girl, she's actually in my weight class. Actually, that's somebody I would have fought if I went to Olympics.
Okay, so how does that make you feel then?
Knowing that she has the XY chromosome, I honestly feel like that it's kind of like I'm hearing. Okay, she was really born a female, but she has the. Honestly, I feel like she shouldn't compete with women.
Okay.
Because, at the end of the day, you really got the strength of a man. So it's like, honestly, you should be competing with a man. I honestly think that she should compete with men.
Yes.
Or they should have a lead for those females. Like, because it's unfair.
I will tell you that I have, I'm sort of more of a moderate person, right, in my political views and things, and this has become political to a certain extent. And I always think that it feels unfair to have people like yourself who have dedicated their life, trained very hard, reaching goals, which is a wonderful. I think, and we'll get into this a little bit. I'll ask more questions and maybe a repeat some of it of what we talked about the last time you were in. But how boxing has changed your overall life and given you a focus and a discipline and all this stuff. And then to be rising up, feeling great about yourself, going to the Olympics, and then you run into this, and it feels unfair. And I know Dave Chappelle, the comedian, did a joke. He goes, if LeBron became LeBrona and went to the WNBA and scored 100 points a night, it doesn't feel fair. And I know that there are probably many men that you would give quite a time in the ring and beat. I believe that. Right. I absolutely believe that. But there's going to be somebody who's trained at that level that it's a little bit stronger. Right. A woman backed out of the Olympics when they took one hit from that person because they hit so much harder than what she was used to. So it just seems unfair to me. And yet at the same time, Algeria, you got in there and kicked that guy's ass.
Yeah.
How great would that be?
That's another thing.
I know. Because I got to think the competitor in you's got to be like, come on.
Yeah. So another side of me is like, yeah, it's unfair. But at the same time, me personally, I wouldn't have backed out of nothing. I would have gave it all. Honestly,
I believe that.
I
believe that.
I would have gave it all I got. And that would have made me turn up even more. That would have. Honestly, the girl backing out, I was like, I'm not saying that that's an excuse, but
She took one good hit, and I think it just scared her.
Like at the Olympics, though, it's like you never got hit that hard before. That's kind of like,
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. She's saying no, but look, who knows? Maybe there was some theater involved in all this. I'm not exactly sure, but I do think it's unfair because you just, especially at that level with the same training, even I think that men just are just bigger, right? And that's why we have difference. And there's the brawn and right, and so you're gonna have that. I love the idea though that you say I wouldn't have backed down.
Yeah,
I don't think it's right, but I wouldn't have backed down.
Yeah, I would have gave it all I got.
What kind of fire is in that belly? Like for you, like what is what is it you want? What's that? What's burning in there? Because I can see it. Like you light up when you just said I wouldn't have backed down. I saw you light up. I go, what is that?
I just think it's just something inside of me. Like I wouldn't say it's pride, but it's just something inside of me. Like I'm just not. I don't know. I just got something inside of me. Like how do I say it? Like
you got a little rage in there.
Yeah, I have rage.
A little rage in the cage. I know
how to control it.
Sure.
But I got something inside of me that's just like I ain't going out like that. If you know that type of attitude.
Right.
So it's like I just have the mindset nothing's gonna stop me. So when I'm in a ring or I want it. So
how much of that has translated to life for you? The discipline that you have, that focus that I'm not gonna like meeting challenges like life. I have this belief life is never gonna stop coming at you, right? So it's all in how you handle it and how you react to it. And when you feel good about yourself, a lot of times you'll react better than when you're not feeling good about yourself. So with you, I think you got to be feeling pretty good. 2-time Golden Glove champion, working hard to get to to become an Olympic boxer. Probably have a pretty good chance of that happening, I would think.
Yes.
And and I can see it. And I can see in there this, like, you got it. So how is that translated into life for you?
I just apply everything I learned in boxing because I feel like I get put in situations where God tests me to see, okay, have you changed or are you ready for the next level? So honestly, it doesn't get easier, it get harder. So I actually just get comfortable with being uncomfortable because I know when I'm uncomfortable, something is coming. And I just try not to stay comfortable because I know it's always somebody else out there that want to be great or that want to be number one too. So I just I just stay on my toes and just stay humble and never be satisfied with whether I'm winning or losing.
Right. But talk to me like, here's what I'm saying. So at your job, do you think you perform better at your job because you box?
Yes.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Like you're more focused. Aspect? Yeah. You're more focused. You understand what needs to be done. This is work. This is, even maybe in your relationships, your younger sister's in the studio right now. Like all these relationships, are you better in all those areas because you have this discipline and focus? Do you think?
Yeah, I feel like I balance it out like at work. The mental aspect. I don't let I try to let stuff bother me or get to me. Or if something do piss me off or annoy me, I just use that as fuel when I go to the boxing gym. I let it out there.
Yeah.
So I kind of just take everything that I face or go through and I just use it to go harder in the gym.
Right.
So honestly, when stuff come at me, that just make me get even more better when I'm in the gym.
Makes you get better.
Yeah, it make me more hungrier.
What is a daily schedule for you?
So I really Monday through Friday I work and then
what time do you have to get to work?
At 9:00.
9 a.m.
So when I'm in training camp, that's when I'm gonna do my morning runs.
Yeah.
And as soon as I leave work, I'll go straight to the gym.
Okay. So what time do you finish work?
Around 5:00.
5:00.
And then I go to the gym about 6:30 and then I stay there till 9:00.
And then what?
And then I go home, get ready for the next day. So
you go home and then what time do you hit the pillow?
Like at 12, 11 o'clock.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And then you sleep to when?
8
or not? 8, 7:30, 8 o'clock?
Like 7:50 a.m. I set my alarm to.
Okay. And then you get up and you go to work.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you do that again the next day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you're getting almost 8 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now closer to like because my fight is in December.
Yeah.
Closer to my fight in December, that's gonna change because now I gotta sacrifice some of my sleep to get more cardio and more training in.
How far are you running when you run?
I run 3 miles and I do like a high pace. I bring it down like as if I'm in a fight. So I'll turn it all the way up, get me real tired, and then I'll bring it down and I'll turn it up. So when I'm running on a treadmill, that's what I do. But when I'm running outside, I run at a good pace.
Okay. What's the who's your coach?
Coach Giles.
And you do the workouts. Obviously, a lot of this is self-motivated.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you're doing a lot of this on your own.
Yeah.
Yeah. And but they got to be proud as heck.
Yeah.
Right? Of all the things that are going on. Who's the one person that you want to get in the ring? Is there a fighter at your level that I can see
that I want to fight?
Yeah.
Alicia Baumgartner.
Okay.
That's somebody who I want to fight in the future. Katie Taylor, I would love to share the ring with her. I sparred her before and she's a real good fighter.
Yeah.
So that's somebody who I want to fight. And also Amanda Serrano.
Yeah. Well, the whole boxing thing came about because you were getting into trouble. You're getting into fights and things.
When I was younger, I had anger issues.
Anger issues.
Mm-hmm.
The boxing helps with the anger issues.
Yeah, honestly, it makes me. You'll think when somebody got anger issues and that they'll join something, it'll make them even more. It actually make me not want to fight people and stuff. Now that I know that I compete at a high level, and I got kids looking up to me, and people that look at me as a role model. So I know I got to carry myself a certain way, because I wouldn't want to looking up to me and think, I'm going down the wrong path or doing
No, I got you.
crazy things. So I try to set an example for the kids. And, everybody not perfect, but I just make sure I carry myself like, as a young lady, regardless inside and outside of the ring.
Yeah.
Because I'm still a woman.
Yeah. Okay. I hear you. Oh, I kind of like that. It's a little old school. But I like that. Yep. Right? Carry yourself like a lady. Yeah. That's interesting. Who says that to you? Anybody give you that? Your mom say that? Anybody say that?
No, I just think
just in your head.
I just think everything was kind of a little self-taught, or I just I watch like a lot of YouTube videos of like people who are where I want to be, and I learn and take notes of things that they did to become successful. So I like learn from different people.
Okay, so these are almost mentors, but you're learning from others how they got there.
Yep.
What was their method? What was their path? Mm-hmm. When you look around, may I ask how old you are?
23. I just turned 23.
You just turned 23. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I have a son I have boys about your age. Mm-hmm. Guy just turned 24 and a guy who's 22, going to be 23. And it's interesting, but there's got to be a lot of people that you were with that you've seen go down a different path, right? And get themselves into. Does anybody ever reach out to you going, how did you do it? Can you help me in my get out of whatever I'm in?
Yeah, a lot of like younger kids. Like when I went to school and spoke to some kids, a lot of like the younger girls. One young girl reached out to me because I gave him my Instagram, and she reached out to me and was like, she was like kind of scared and shy to like come up to talk to me, but she was saying that she looked up to me and she like wanted to start boxing, and like basically want to help her anger because she said she got anger issues too.
Yeah,
and she want to like learn how to be a better person.
So you've gone into schools and talked to kids?
Yes.
What do you say when you're in there?
Basically, I speak my truth, and you know how some people go to speak to kids and they just give them the regular the regular talk about, like some people will speak to people and they be like, oh, you got to do this and this and that, but they never been through nothing, or didn't come from nothing, right? So they can't really relate to them. So I think because I could relate to them.
Did you go to the city schools?
I went to. It's a school that got behavioral issues. I forgot the name of the school I went to. Last year I went to a high school. And
it was it was for behavioral issues.
Yep, the students I spoke to, they was in like but when
you went to school, did you go to the city schools?
I went to 35 school.
Yeah.
When I was
Uh-huh.
here in
What was it
Rochester.
like in there?
I was bad. I was I wasn't bad. I was just I
Was
would
it
say I had behavioral issues.
Yeah, was it rough in there?
I feel like a lot of times some of the teachers didn't like me, and I feel like
Mm.
I was like in a situation. I like kids will pick on me, and I will pick on them right back.
Yeah.
So I was always that type of person who stood up for myself. So
Right.
I would get in trouble for stuff like that or for fighting. But a lot of times I feel like some of the teachers didn't like me. Like
Okay.
I used to get suspended. It was times I got suspended from school, and my mom wouldn't even know, and I'll come home and one time I got on the bus and I was suspended. This was in elementary, and I still got on the bus and they called my mom, called her, and told her that I was suspended and I can't go
Oh,
back
so
to
you got
school.
on the bus to just go to school because you didn't want to tell your mom you were suspended?
Yeah, I didn't want to tell her I was suspended, and this is when I went to Urban Choice Charter School.
Yeah.
This was in elementary. This was here in Rochester.
Uh-huh.
And I used to get in trouble all the time. And then I went to 35 school.
How do you wish they handled that?
I think more so probably had like classes like for anger animals for kids and stuff and talk to me. I think a lot of times teachers didn't really like some of them would just I think they would purposely like do stuff towards me or be mean.
Uh-huh.
It was kind of as a young girl, so or because I was like, probably looked at as the bad little child in the class. I was always goofy and stuff. So I think sometimes pulling the kid aside and seeing what's going on and stuff. I think stuff like that.
Yeah. That's really, really insightful because I think you're right. I think sometimes it's hard when you've got like 35 kids in a class. I'm sure it can be kind of tough, but I almost feel like suspending somebody from out of school, you want them to go to school. You want them to like school. You want to build them up at school. I know that it's not always easy, but that should be the purpose. And so I often wonder are you better off putting them in school suspension and trying to structure that so there's learning and things going on instead of letting them stay home, which is probably what the kid wants anyway, except you, because you didn't want to be home with your mom. You sound like you got a good mom who would.
Yeah, my mom, she raised us. I'm actually grateful the way my mom raised us. Sometimes compared to this new generation, I just feel like
What do you see in the new generation? That's an interesting thing because you're young yourself. You're a young lady. Yeah.
Honestly, I think this new generation is terrible. They don't have like no respect and
no respect. Explain what that means to me because I have something going on in my life that I would have never saw things going this way, and I will sort of allude to it and ask what you would want said to you in that in that situation.
I think no respect as in like when I was growing up and raised, like even it's like these kids today. I think a lot of times some kids feel like they're not heard or whatever, or if somebody disrespect them back. So I could see why kids think that way, but
peer to peer. But when I say no respect, it almost seems to be. Are you saying no respect to elders?
Yeah, I think it's to adults. Like they feel like nobody could tell them nothing, or like even it's just, or sometimes they don't have the right people or parents that's telling them or correcting them or disciplining them. I think they're not being disciplined. And growing up, I was disciplined. Like I knew not to disrespect my mom. I knew not to curse in front of my mom. It's like now it's like kids are too like comfortable doing things. Like I'm 23 and I still don't curse when I'm around my mom or or even talking to my mom. It's just I don't even feel comfortable cursing around an older lady or anybody.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's just a respect thing.
Yes.
And
I agree with that. I do agree with that. And I used to say things like, well, it's just words, right?
Yeah.
And words aren't anything. But I do think that people sort of look at you differently. And that if you carry yourself different, you'll be treated different.
Right.
I believe that so much so that I always, when I had 3 boys, it was like living in a frat house. Somebody was always thrown up, walking around in shorts. Someone was like, acting, no shirt on. It was always that. But I was in the emergency room a lot. Broken bones, people jumping off roofs. This is, they're boys.
Right.
And I used to always keep a button-down shirt on standby because I felt like when you dressed better, they treated you better.
That's a big one.
I really believe that. And people always make fun of me.
Nah, that's
you're crazy.
True.
Now that my 14-year-old son, he got sick, we wound up urgent care and then emergency, and I put on a button-down shirt to go to emergency only because I do think they treat you differently. I'm sorry.
True.
And I know that we're not supposed to judge, but we're animals at our core, and we judge. And I just think that. So it's interesting to hear you say, I don't want to do that. And when you say new generation, I'm old enough to be your dad. So to me, you're the next generation, and you're different, I think, among those. Although maybe not. And because your sister is 13, right?
Yeah.
And you seem like you're very respectful. Are you? Yeah, they're very quiet. There you go. You know why she was quiet? Because I didn't have her microphone up. But I mean, my older guys, look, if you had a disagreement with your mom or an adult and things kind of got heated, what would you want them to say to you to try to make you feel like everything's going to be okay and we can move forward? That's a tough one, and I'm being a little vague. But I sort of have a situation going on, and I have a 14-year-old son, and things got heated. And when you talk about anger issues, I do. And I haven't been in the gym boxing, not even like when you came in here last time, I held the mitts and stuff. I haven't even been doing that lately because that place I was at closed. And so there's other things. And I go, boy, I need to get back in the gym because I was like, and I do have, like, I think any good fighter inside them, there's a rage.
Oh yeah.
There's a rage. Sure. And I know that I have a quiet rage in me that I've had since I was a young guy. I had a lot of things happen to me that along the way that just sort of changed me. And I've got this, underdog, angry mentality that sometimes, and then when you push certain buttons, and there are people who can.
Oh yeah.
Right. And I say things. Like I might be better sparring with my tongue than my fist because I can say things quick and mean.
Oh yeah, and I'm the same way.
Are you?
I'm the same exact way.
I mean, I'll look to see the thing that'll hurt you the most.
Yeah, that's why I try to. That's why I learned not to argue with people because I cut deep.
Yeah, I cut deep.
And
okay,
it's the truth.
Yes.
It be the truth though. It's not me just. It be the truth.
Right.
I say it just how it is.
And then when
people can't take that.
When you get cut deep, okay, if someone cuts deep at you, then what happens?
I get quiet and I gotta I'm the type I hold stuff in and let it build up.
Yeah.
And I think that's not a good way to handle it because sometimes you might ignore stuff or I don't know. I'm kind of like. I wouldn't say numbed where it's just like now I'm like unbothered, or if it bothered me, I just use that fuel in the gym. So I get quiet. If something hurt me, I get real quiet because I need to process my emotions and how I'm reacting and all that. And I don't want to
see. And I don't always get quiet because I'll come back with that quick pop verbally, not physically, but verbally. And so. What would you want to hear from an adult in your life who you had something where they said things, you said things? What would you like them to say to you? Because, I am, as it's been said, the grown ass man, right? And I should be able to not do that sort of thing, but I did.
Right.
And so what would you want to hear?
I think accountability, and a lot of times people have a lot of pride in apologizing. So I think just even because I'm a forgiving person, like sometimes I think I could be too forgiving to where somebody else would be like, "Oh no, I would never forgive."
Right.
But honestly, because I'm a Christian, I believe in forgiving people. So regardless of how people treated me or did me bad, I'm learning that the true definition of humility and being humble is when somebody give you bad, you still be good to them, and that's how you stay blessed and get everything you want in life by giving somebody the opposite of what they give you. So somebody, for instance, an example, somebody treated you real bad or disrespected you, you still being good to them. It's real. I ain't saying it's easy to do. It's very, very hard. But I'm just working on like, just staying humble even in times where people test me. Cause honestly, I feel like no matter what position you're in, people always gonna test you or somebody always want to try to bring you down. So I think apology, but sometimes you'll never get an apology from people. So learning to forgive people that's not even sorry.
Yeah.
So that's
if an adult said to you, look, I sunk to your level and I shouldn't have done that. And I'm sorry. And we'll work through this. And I need to be better. And and I love you. And that's it.
Right.
Will that go far away?
Yeah, I would forgive them.
Yeah.
I'll forgive them. Now, if they keep doing the same thing, I'll just cut them off.
Yes.
Like, at this point, you just don't care.
Yes. Yes. Your younger sister is here. What is your name?
Kamara.
Kamora?
Yeah.
What did you want to say about Algeria?
I would say that Algeria is a really great big sister because she taught me a lot of things I did not know.
Yeah.
And I do have anger issues as well. And I'm trying to go to the gym so I can let that anger try to let that anger off of me.
Yeah. Yeah. Shed it out. Yeah. Does that have a lot of pressure for you, knowing that you have people and someone who loves you like your sister looking up to you? And is it pressure or is it not? Is it just like, hey, I'm doing this?
It's not pressure. I'm just trying to balance like focusing on my training and my fights and then trying to pour time into her.
Yeah.
So like spending time with her. That's why I brought her here with me. And then I've been bringing her. Sometimes I'll bring her to the gym when I'm sparring and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just sometimes I gotta have my full focus on training, so I block everybody out.
Do you get tired just watching her? Like those workouts got to make you tired just watching, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot, right? Did you go, where the heck? Who? What? Yeah, I know. Yeah, I get tired just cleaning my room, right? So is your next big fight December?
So I'm trying to get on the card in November in Maryland.
Okay.
I'm trying to find a fight. Like it's been some fights going on that I have been on the list to get matched up, but it's no opponent for me. So that's why I haven't fought recently. It's hard for me to get fights. So
why is it hard for you? Because you're too good?
Sometimes it's that some people, back out or it's no females in the area. So I have to go do a lot of traveling. So
how are you raising money for that stuff?
So actually, I was thinking about doing a GoFundMe for this nationals because a lot of times I'll come out of pocket for all the tournaments.
Yeah.
Except for Golden Gloves. The LBC will cover that.
Okay.
But for nationals and traveling, I have to come out of pocket. So I'm trying to raise, do a GoFundMe and raise to help the traveling expenses for when I go to December.
Yeah.
Because it's
you should put on they should have you at the gym to put on like a clinic and people can come watch you train, watch you spar, watch you work mitts, watch you do stuff. I think that'd be great. And it'd be a good way to raise some funds. If you figure out, if you have a GoFundMe or something, please let me know.
Okay.
And we'll try to push it out too on our social medias and things just to help, because I think this is an amazing thing for you.
Yep,
and I think it's an amazing thing what you're doing, and for everybody watching you. I really do. I find you as impressive as hell. I think that's I think that focus, that determination, that self-awareness, saying I have anger issues, but I'm working through ways to deal with it, all that stuff. When boxing ends at some point, right? Yep. And you probably feel invincible. You're 23 years old. You should. But at some point, let's say you hit into your 40s and you go, what do you see yourself doing?
At 40, honestly, I feel like I see myself accomplishing being a world champion, giving back to my community. I want my own boxing gym.
You do. That's what I'm asking. Yeah.
Yeah, I want my own boxing gym also where I can invest in like kids who trying to get to like national tournaments and like pour into them.
Yes.
And I don't want to be a coach, but I just want my own gym and have coaches in there.
So it's sort of your philosophy, right? Your philosophy on boxing, your philosophy on the Nash, but you're the owner. You go around and you maybe do a little instruction, but you got coaches and you're running the business.
And I'm running the business and also like invest in them so they don't have to pay for nationals or because a lot of the kids who trying to be like great and stuff, a lot of people I feel like they give up on their dreams because they don't come from a family that got money
that has means, right? Sure.
So it's like harder for them. So that's why I want to be the person like because I know from experience to help somebody else when when it's their time.
Yeah.
So I want to pour in and be a mentorship to like younger girls coming up that's trying to find their way through boxing and need that person to look up to. So I want to be like a mentor and also I want to do modeling.
Yeah.
And have
Were you already doing that? Weren't you already doing some modeling last time we talked?
No, I haven't did like actual modeling. I just post a lot on my social media. I take a lot of pictures and stuff. Like outside of the boxing gym when I go out or somewhere, I like dressing up and getting real girly.
Yeah.
So I want to do like modeling and I love dancing too. So I want to incorporate
dancing with boxing is a great thing.
Yeah. So I want to incorporate that in with boxing.
Yeah.
I actually want to go like to New York City and like take some of the classes. They be having like classes like Africans would do. And they'll have like a whole bunch of people around. They'll be dancing and stuff, and they'll post it on social media.
I see. I see what you're saying. I think that's great. I love that whole plan for you. I think it's good. Do you do anything? And I'll ask this: like, have you ever heard of a vision board?
Yes, Ben was supposed to make one, but what I do, I just bought me a new journal.
Okay.
And I just write like my monthly goals that I want to get done, like for this month. Next month December and like I wrote a list on my phone as well too of things I want to accomplish in life period or my dreams and goals.
Yeah.
So I do a lot of writing.
Yes, writing's great.
Yeah.
And that's great, especially the longhand, right? It's something about going from your mind to the pen, so to speak. Do you read it every day?
Well, recently I've been going back and reading it or going back and writing, and I just put my visions in my journal, and I realized I always used to write like because I'm a on hands person.
Yeah.
So when I got like thoughts or I got an idea or something, I write it and it comes. So I realized that.
What do you mean it comes?
Like
it actually happens.
Yeah, like it happens. Like the stuff I used to pray for when I was younger, I realized I'm growing into it now. So it's all about timing.
It's about timing.
Yeah.
It's about being ready.
Yeah.
Being ready for it.
And honestly, just staying ready. Honestly, like staying ready. You don't know when you actually gonna be like sometimes you might not even feel ready and that might be your time. So it can be tricky. Sometimes you might think you're ready and that's not your time.
Right.
I learned that too. So honestly, that's why I'm just staying prepared for anything.
Yeah.
I'm just expecting like anything that happens. I'm just.
How many of the things that you've written down? When did you start writing things down?
Since 2019.
Okay, so 2019. Mm-hmm. Since 2019, the things you've written down, how many of those have actually happened?
I'll say a lot of things as far as like competing a lot and going to like more national tournaments, getting more experience.
Right.
Being in rooms that I always wish to be in, like going to the Olympic Training Center. That's something I always wanted to do.
Yeah.
So
it's all happening.
Yeah. So stuff is slowly happening in time. And I always because I had moved from North Carolina. I was born in Rochester and I moved to North Carolina and I came back here. I always wanted to come. It's crazy because I was just reading on Facebook. I made a post and it was like, I'm going to be the first female boxer from Rochester to put on for my city. And I always wanted to come back to Rochester. And
here you are.
And just so when I make it, people know I'm actually from Rochester.
Yeah.
So now that
it's important to you.
Yeah. So now that I'm glad that I came back here and I trained here and I won the Golden Gloves here. So I wouldn't be in another place, another city.
Yes.
And it won't feel like it's not my home.
Right.
So I think it was meant for me to come back and give the kids here hope because you don't see too many people from Rochester that, you know, make it, especially being from the city.
Yes.
So you don't hear too many people. So I think kids need that, like, oh, somebody, you know, they could relate to. I think that's sometimes big too, because somebody can go to school and probably, you know, be successful and be like, oh, never give up, do this, and all that sound good, but it's like it will go over their heads. But when you could touch and relate to them, I think it's like, oh, okay, she doing it, I could do it.
It's interesting to me because I'm a little weird, and I believe you didn't have to agree so quickly on that. No, I'm teasing. No, it's okay. But what I'm saying is, like, I believe that our minds are very, very powerful. And when we put it out to the universe, God, source, whatever, and you stay focused and that something in our mind, we can bring it to us. I'm not saying there isn't work involved. You can't get, you know, from where you are to being a millionaire, but you can get from here to maybe 50 and then maybe 100 and then maybe, you know what I'm saying, and get there. And it is the journey. That's the journey of this, and it's all part of it. And I think what you're doing is great. And I love that a lot of what you have written down has come to be because you're focused. And, you know, and I think that's amazing for you. Fantastic stuff. Really, really good. Nice to see you again, too. I really appreciate you coming in. I know you have a lot going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And let me know on the GoFundMe for December. Is it December?
Yep. December the 13th through the 22nd. It's a week tournament.
Okay. So just before Christmas.
Yep.
Yeah. You're going to give yourself an early Christmas present.
Yep.
Going in and knocking somebody out. A win.
A win.
Yeah. Let's get some W's.
Belt. That's
a national belt. So this would be for a national belt.
Yep. You get a belt and you become the number one.
Number one fighter.
So the girl who fought in the Olympics, I have a chance to be able to fight her in that tournament.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. And this is it.
Coming for that spot.
That's what you're coming for.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
So.
All right. What's the music that plays as you're in your headphones and things as you're walking into the ring?
I'm gonna have reggae music in.
Reggae music.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite reggae artist?
I listen to a lot of dance hall.
Okay.
Like,
I wasn't so much of a dance hall fan, but I loved Buju Banton.
Oh my God. I was just listening to him before I came here. I love Benny Man.
Yep, Benny Man.
Benny Man.
It's been many years for me, but I used to be a little bit deeper.
Vegas.
Mr. Vegas.
Yeah, I'm big on dance hall.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right, gets you up. Whatever's going to get you in that right space. That's great.
Yep.
Well, I really appreciate it. It's very nice to meet you. It's very nice to meet you as well. Thank you for coming in, saying nice things about your sister. We will take a moment. When we come back, we're going to talk to a guy named Chris Oliver. You hear a lot of things about the southern border. Chris lives up on the Canadian border, and he's talking about people coming across on his property. Now, we'll just listen, but it is something that's happening. We'll get to all that right after this.